welcome to Paracast, a podcast about the paranormal. Anything goes, anything, as in swearing. If you don't like the swearing, don't view. I'm here with my good friend Carrie-Anne Saunders. She's a medium, and I'm going to put her over to you so she can tell you what she does.
Hello.
Intriguing.
Hello. I'm Carrie-Anne, and like he's just said, that I do work with the paranormal, and I can't remember how long I've been doing it for.
Too long.
Yeah, too long. People say I'm a born medium. Everybody's a born medium. Everybody has this ability of having senses and knowing things before it just happens. Well, I've been that person. I've never fitted in society because I'm a little bit of an oddbod.
When was your first experience of knowing that you could do what you do?
When I was a child.
At what age?
I think I was 5.
And what was it? What was it? Was it like, did it or didn't it type of situation, or did you know straight away that it was something?
For an example, I was only little and we were travelling in the car, and one of my family members were driving, and I just said, "Look out for the motorbike." There was no motorbike. Anyway, within 5 seconds after that, there was a collision with the motorbike and the car, and that literally sent the hairs on everybody's necks standing up, They became a little bit frightened at first.
It's understandable, isn't it? Something like that's going to happen. Did you get scared? Did you shit yourself?
No, because it just seemed normal to me. But when you're at that age, you don't really know it's different.
Yeah.
To the reality of things.
So how old were you when you knew for definite that you weren't like everybody else?
Well, when I was younger, I think maybe in my teens, I lost a school friend. I can't mention her name, but she was killed tragically, and it really upset me. And anyway, a few nights later, I seen her standing in my bedroom, and she apparently revealed how she looked when she had the accident. And when I told my mum the next morning, my mum said to me, "Don't ever go with them if they ask you to go with them." And I didn't fully understand why, but my mum's psychic.
Yeah.
But the only difference with her and me is she hasn't kind of like took it as far as what I have over the years, but she is quite psychic.
So, have you experienced afterlife on your own? When people come to you and ask you, "Can you do this? Can you do it?" Have you ever done it for yourself? Does it work like that, or does it work where you can only give messages out? Or
do you mean where you can know things before it happens?
I'll give you an instance. I used to work for Colin Fry, who was the medium. He was a medium on TV. I worked for Colin Fry. It was only the odd advertisement, and he rang me up one night, and I said to him, "All right, Colin, how are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm all right, Mark." He says, "Yeah." He says, "I've had a bad night though." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I had a bad night." He said, "Because I was laid in bed." He says, "And my brain just wouldn't switch off." I went, "Right." He says, "And I had a young boy come up to me, to my bed. He come up to me and he says, 'Are you okay?' And he went, 'No.' He says, 'I'm looking for my mammy.'"
Oh, yeah.
And he was a little bit unnerved by that. I mean, he said even the best mediums can be a bit, a bit upset by it. He says, and that's what happened to me. He says, so I've had a really bad night, and I didn't want to push him. You know what I mean? I didn't want to push him with questions. That type of thing. Has that ever happened to you?
It's never stopped happening to me.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. I do try and encourage people to learn to have an off switch button.
Yeah.
But with me, I can never switch off. I can protect myself. I can, but I just can't seem to switch off.
Yeah, well, I've seen you do that in your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. I don't know why.
And you'll probably find a lot of mediums will kind of like say, well, I don't get nothing in my house because I'm so protected.
Yeah.
No, it's not the case, because being a medium, you just have that ability. You're not special. You just have that ability, and you will, no matter how much protection you put in your home, you will have a spiritual encounter now and again.
Yeah.
Because you've got to think about your home sitting on ley lines. You've got to think about the history of the place.
What's a ley line?
A ley line is like lines of energy fields, and the crossover like that.
Yeah.
It's so, I can't explain it any better than that way, but when you are sitting on, it's like aerials. If you imagine a whole load of aerials, it's like transmission, energy fields,
Yeah.
and they're all over the place. They're like invisible pylons, if you like.
Yeah.
I
know there was, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but coming from Newmask to Redcar, in the road beside the main road, there used to be a road and used to be two houses, and they were derelict for ages, and a lot of people used to say to me, it's because they're built on ley lines.
Yeah.
It's haunted.
Yeah.
It attracts energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does that, when it comes to spiritualist medium, is that what type of thing you get? It's like you're an attraction for them.
Well, yes. It's a bit like, everybody is born with, you're born, you've got a soul, you've got everything, and that soul has a light.
Yeah.
So if you think about a lighthouse,
yeah,
it guides the ships in. Well, that's what it's like. It attracts spirit. It attracts all sorts, and you know that you're into it because you get like a pull into, I don't know, maybe religious things. I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual.
Yeah.
You get a pull to, I don't know, crosses, crystals, things like that, So, I forgot the question.
It's because you're getting into it, that's all it is. That's not getting edited out, by the way, guys.
Oh, no.
Let's say you were walking into Chillingham Castle, which you've done many times, right? Because I've done it with you.
Yeah.
Let's say you walked in there, and we all know the stories about Chillingham Castle, about that John.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was. He was King Richard I's right-hand man executioner.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that story and you seen an apparition of him, would you know that he was a very bad person in life?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because it hits you, that feeling, that energy, because everything's energy. It's a vibe, it hits you right in your gut, right in your solar plexus.
Does it make you sick?
It makes you feel sick. You just want to get out of there. But even though I've had them feelings, I'm stubborn. I'm so inquisitive. I just want to be there, but I want to be out of there.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
It's like you're getting pulled from left, right, and centre, and you're
it's like, oh shit, do I really want to be here yet? Hang on a minute, I feel ill, but let's go and investigate.
It's absolutely mad, isn't it?
It is.
I've been to Chillingham Castle with you 3 times, is it now?
3 times.
3 times, and the first one we did a ghost hunt, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I seen you, body, your face changed, and I was like, is she feeling all right? And Carmen says, no, just leave her be. And I'm like, is it something to do with... Yeah, she's in her element. She might look a bit strange, but she's doing her stuff. Would you say you talk to the dead often? Is it like
Yeah, well, I would say the dead talk to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. See, Colin Fry brought this up with me because I did a bit of an advertisement thing for him, and I turned and I can't remember what film it was, and I asked him, and he wouldn't answer the question. And I said to him, I says, do you have voices in your head that don't shut up? And he just sort of like clamped up and he wouldn't tell me. Do you get anything like that? Do you have anything, a constant, you know it's them talking to you, but it's like it's in a constant annoyance?
Yes, and that's where people think I'm loop the loop, because I'll just probably talk, like join in the talk, and then if I'm just like, oh, for God's sakes, that's it, leave me alone, get on with it, and I'll occupy myself. Where I could be washing up, and somebody'd say something to me and I'll answer them, and then someone will come in the house, a physical person, and say, what you say, who are we talking to? Oh, doesn't matter. But that's my family, they've all been grown up with this sort of thing anyway.
So the next time we go on a ghost hunt, what do you look for? After, I mean, obviously you're going to have to be there for about half an hour before you get the feel of everything.
Well,
what prepares you?
A fag. Yeah. A fag.
Yeah, a fag. It's like, I've noticed that we've been on a few, and you stand there, no one can talk to you. It's like you're doing something, but we as people around you don't understand what's going on.
Right, I see what you mean now. Yeah, it's like when you walk into a place, it even though I've been to Chillingham Castle loads and loads of times, I love that place. It's just like getting your bearings. I'll get my bearings, but then it's like I can hear things. I can hear echoes of voices. I can hear echoes of, I don't know, maybe animals or machinery that aren't even there.
Yeah.
I can hear all different things, and then of course you've got the sensors that are coming from different angles all over, behind, sideways, front ways, and it's a bit like, Spider-Man with his spider senses and his
tingly.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. So there's a lot to take in, a lot of feeling, a lot of listening, and quite often you'll know because that I'm communicating, because I have a tendency of turning my head to the right when I'm listening to something.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yeah, and that's when I'm getting all the information. I mean, I love history of old places itself anyway.
Yeah. If you've ever been to anywhere, you've got to go to Chillingham Castle. If you like history, it's absolutely stoved out with history, isn't it? There's a church there. We don't know who's buried there though, do we? In the church.
Yeah, it was the Greys, the family of the Greys.
Oh, the family of the Greys. Yeah.
What was the other? Forget the name now. Some of the lords, I forget the names. I have to look back on it.
It's like if you ever want to go, guys, go, because it is an absolute blast. You'll love it. There's absolutely loads of stuff there, but it's renowned back then. The Scottish Wars of Independence.
Proper medieval.
Yeah. You've got the King Edward I's room, and that's where they used to slaughter all the children of the Scots and stuff like that. They used to throw them out the window and all sorts. Absolutely horrific. If you ever want to go there, and you will experience something, because I've done it every time I've gone. I've something unusual that I can't explain. But Carrie Ann always, she feels something, and it's there. It's an abundance of happenings, and sometimes I see it and I don't honestly cannot understand what's going on, because it is really weird. But you suffer more, don't you?
Yeah. It's I tell you a story of what made me go out and reach out to a psychic lady, and I'll always remember her. I won't mention her name, but she was a lovely, lovely lady, and if she's listening to this, I just wanted to know that I'm grateful for everything she taught me, because she taught me well. I've had a few people that have, showed me the right way of things, but you can't beat your own ways, your own self-knowledgeable things, if you know what I mean, your self-knowledge. But there was one time I was only young and I'd just gone into bed and I just laid back, pulled the quilt back, and then out of nowhere it was like as if there was a great big TV screen of an image of of someone's legs running across like that. And I recognised there was black oval railings, and I recognised them railings, and to me, and I did not know then, there and then, where it was or what it was, right? But the next morning I realised it was Norton Village. Now then, my husband said I just went vague, and all I could see was blue jeans, white trainers running, black ovals, and then oval railings, and then like it's like as if I looked away and seen bushes. I got a sense of anxiety and then nothing. But I remember feeling quite distraught, feeling a bit sick, and I really did not know what had just happened to me then. Yes, when I was a child I'd come out with all sorts. You know, I'd see people who weren't there, but this was a proper psychic premonition. And there's a difference between them and seeing spirit. Anyway, told me husband, and the next morning he put the TV on, and on the news was some fella was running, and it was in Norton Village, and he was hit by a car. So I can't tell you how I felt. I was quite stunned, and my husband was like looking at me as if to say, "Oh shit, what have I married?" Like, yeah. Anyway, so we decided to walk down to the village, and there was some flowers laid right in front of the black oval railings. And I remember seeing an old street lamp. Not what you get in your streets now, but this is like old. And they had them then.
Yeah.
Still in Norton. I don't know if they still do now.
Yeah, I think they do, don't they? Because it's like protected or something.
Yeah, it's like historic, isn't it? But anyway, I said to my husband, I said, well, where's the bushes? Anyway, as I looked to my left, there was the bushes. Now, I turned my head to look for these bushes, just as I did in my premonition. So it was like I was there witnessing the incident and didn't want to see the impact of this poor lad who'd been hit. It was like I quickly turned away, and that's how the bushes came about. So I heard of this psychic lady, and she was in Stockton at the time. Marvellous, lovely, lovely lady. And straight away she clapped eyes on me, and I was desperate for a child, and I never said a damn thing to her. And she went, come in. She went, are you waiting for a child, honey? She won't be long. And she put her hand on my tummy. Now, I got told I could never have children, even though I knew I would. So I was fighting two sides. Anyway, I told her, cut a long story short, told her what happened, and she said, you need to go to a church. Tell them I sent you. You've got premonitions, darling, and they're very strong, but you don't know what to do with them. You need to learn about it. You need to... And she said, you do see people who have passed away. You always have done since you were little. Well, I said, well, yeah, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I had nobody to tell me what was happening to me. And that is why I was strange at school to other people. Some might say I'm a Fruit Loop, whatever. Maybe I am, I don't care. But anyway, I did, and I started to learn about it. My God, I was stuck into it. And I'm still hungry for more knowledge now, and I am now 50-year-old. And you will never stop learning. There's so much of the paranormal that we need to understand, and you'll never learn it all in this lifetime.
Right, Kaz, I'm going to ask you a question, but I don't want you to answer it.
Right.
Right. What's the scariest thing you've ever encountered?
Right.
Keep it like that. Right, guys, this is a pilot, as you will already know. I haven't edited it yet, but you will know at the beginning of this episode. If you like what you see, if you're interested, if you want to comment, do so. Just let us know what you think. And until next time, thank you very much for joining us on this paranormal journey, whatever you want to call it. Thanks, Carrie Ann.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see ya. See you guys.
Thank you, bye.
That was quite interesting, that.